There you go. Let's go. Roll.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Crusader Sports Network. We apologize for that brief see with your BHS girls soccer team, and this is the quarterfinals round in the Keisha girls soccer tournament for the 22 season. Should be a very great matchup here tonight, and in fact, it is against the Mulvane Wildcats in a double overtime penalty kick competition. The final score was officially 2-1. Mulvane over Bueller. Unfortunately, this year, our girls are going to look to get a little revenge, hopefully, and avenge their old teammates. And something to note here tonight for the Lady Crusaders, starting in the goalkeeper position is Sammy Brooks, as during warm-ups, Kaylee Parker would injure, I believe it was her left ankle, so we do not have our normal varsity starting goalie in Kaylee Parker. Sammy Brooks, though, will take the helm and do her absolute best to keep Mulvane at a goose egg on the board tonight. Just a little bit, and I asked him an interesting question. I asked if this year's match here in this first round of state, nearly a goal there to last year's state. It doesn't to do that tonight, or if a out on Mulvane as it's a throw in here. And now Aubrey Tanksley was a Mulvane Wildcat. And a leaping effort there by Mulvane to get this one. However, back in control of it anyway. Just with Brooks there to keep that. With that one. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We do apologize for those brief issues we had in the first half, as another goal kick here comes from Schiffelbein. Hopefully throughout this second half it will remain fixed and that there will be no more issues. We do apologize for those. We hate to have that happen, especially in a matchup as highly contested as this, and the crowds on both sides of the field, Mulvane as well as Bueller, are going absolutely insane. Both sides of the crowd have found some calls questionable this evening, of course, but that always happens. It's been a very good back and forth matchup here. Both teams here in the last few minutes. And we didn't quite get the chance to mention it in the first half, but my name is Cade Morner here for Crusader Sports Network, along with my broadcasting partner tonight, Colton Hines. We thank you for joining us. The Crusaders are victorious this evening. They will move on to the semifinal round of the state tournament. As Tanksley now went for that one, and now Camry Coker, they're going to call this one on Bueller, it looks like. Now, Clara Paulino there was driving forward with that one's looking for either Tegan Nielsen or Aubrey Tanksley there, and unfortunately couldn't quite get to either of them. Now Maddie Tanksley passing this one forward. Picking your score up 1-0 here in the first 5 minutes of this matchup here this evening.
34:50 left in the second half. Bueller Crusader goal by Aubrey Tanksley.
And great work there from the Lady Crusaders to put one on the board. And not to dampen the mood, but I believe this was here this season. You can feel the aggression coming off the field in this one. But there was a goal scored about middle of the game last year as well. And then Mulvane would come back to score, and it would go into double overtimes. And like I said, not to make any predictions here, but things could play out very, very similarly as they did last year. The goal kick now from Sammy Brooks will be taken. And now Aubrey Tanksley back in control of it, passing this one over to Coker. Coker getting stopped up there by a Wildcat defender and going to be able to not quite keep this one in bounds. A very light throw in there. Coker is going to come away with this one, passing it over to Paulino. And Paulino losing control. However, Aubrey Tanksley back with this one. Dearly hoping for. But the winner of this matchup, as I was saying, will go on to play either the winner of the McPherson and Towanda Circle matchup. That's happening in McPherson. We'll try to find a score update on that for you. Like we said, over there in McPherson, Kansas, and there's a penalty there going to be called on Bueller. The Bull Pups are taking on the Thunderbirds. The miracle there is it was looking pretty promising with Paulino in control of that one. And it sounds like Mulvane fans were hoping for that one to have gone out on. And another great save there by Brooks this evening. And in a score update from the McPherson and Towanda Circle game, heading into halftime, the McPherson Bullpups had a 1-0 lead over the Circle Thunderbirds. That's the winner of the McPherson Towanda Circle game. They will play the winner of one of the games from the East region. I do apologize about that. And unfortunately, a goal there scored, and almost another goal from the from the Lady Crusaders. But another goal was scored here in the second half, and it was unfortunately by Mulvane, taking the score up 1-1. And to be entirely honest with everyone, I really, unless a miracle goal can get scored by either team here this evening, they both played so incredibly well, I can really only envision this one going into overtime. Regular play here. And if it does go into overtime, the rules there will be 2 10-minute halves played. And if it is still tied at the end of that, and Brooks, another good save there. But as I was saying, if it's still tied at the end of that second mini game, there will be another mini game after that of another 2 10-minute halves. As with postseason play, there has to be a winner. And looks like they will call maybe possibly an offsides there on Mulvane. And Tanksley's off with this, and unfortunately, the sliding kick is not going to work there, as frustration is looking like it is possibly beginning to set in here for the Lady Crusaders. Now down under 25 minutes left here. It was all ball. However, Coker seemed still favoring that right here tonight for the Lady Crusaders. As I'm not quite sure if anyone heard it. Looks like I'm not sure if the announcement was able to be heard as we were having audio issues in the first half. The reason that Sammy Brooks has been injury and was unable to play at all tonight. I'm not sure what the extent of that injury is. However, it was enough to keep her off. The friend of Kaylee Parker is looking to take off with this one and send it down the field to Aubrey Tanksley. And Tanksley going around now, possibly going to look for her second of the night. If she can get the angle just right, and it's going to go wide left instead. A tough.
Crusader substitution, Tegan Nielsen.
Now the goal heading into the last fourth of this game. And Utsi again. However, off the back of and that kick there going to go wide left as well. Out on Bueller as we await now a Wildcat throw in. And nearly another Wildcat goal there. And now a Wildcat corner kick is underway. Sammy Brooks on that, but as I was saying, another score update out of the McPherson and Towanda Circle game. McPherson now leads Circle 2-0. And what an exciting game this has been here tonight. A very good back and forth, high intensity, high octane. Lackey sending this one back up the way to Tegan Nickel. And another save by Sammy Brooks. She is on fire tonight. As well. In a matchup between Topeka Hayden High School as well as Topeka Care Paravel Latin School. The latter of the two, it's Care Paravel Latin School out of Topeka in the battle of two Topeka high schools. I'm sure that was a very intense game up there, but the second matchup that's taking place that started at 6 o'clock along with us here tonight, McPherson and Towanda. That third matchup in the bracket here for 4-3-2 1A state is between Shawnee, Bishop Miege, and Baldwin High School. We'll try to find a score update on that for you. As Brooks will boot this one down in not 20 minutes here with about 17 left to go. And great one. And the aggression there is coming out on the field as several Lady Crusaders will go down. And the Lady Crusaders moving on here as Aubrey Tanksley is sending this one forward. However, unfortunately, she's got no help. As that one's going to go out of bounds, and a Lady Crusader Baldwin game. We'll see what we can find a little bit later as this one goes on, and as I'm predicting now, I'm making an official prediction, it will go into overtime. We are now under 15 minutes left and no signs of either team getting another one in the goal anytime soon, as it's both teams are just so well defended and have such good forwards on them. Kick, great angle, Schiffelbein barely saving that one as the ball came loose as she hit the ground. However, Schiffelbein, as we've seen several times, the Lady Crusaders would unfortunately go down against Mulvane in this same matchup, as that one goes way out of bounds now, and Brooks is coming back for another corner kick. However, looks like Utsi is going to take this one again for the Lady Crusaders. And Coker with this one, driving forward and a small opening, passing this one over. And Nielsen, unfortunately, the kick wasn't quite there on that one. And Aubrey Tanksley back with it, going to look to pass this one up through, and hopefully, and the angle just off there. And the call being made here tonight, however, several questionable call conceptions about whether that's technically an out of bounds if it hits the goalpost of the goal. And it looks like for the postseason play of this season, they have got that clarified and figured out, as they did call that an out of bounds ball, unable to keep it back. Now Maddie Tanksley is going to look to slow up the progress here. And a call there on Bueller. And Maddie Tanksley, and there is a slight line in soccer, and a very fine one at that. It's kind of hard to find the balance of how much aggression is too much aggression on the field. And it looks like Maddie Tanksley found that line and stepped right over it with that one. I'm a little bit on that, as Brooks will get another save here this evening. And another big boot down the field, as Aubrey Tanksley will come back into possession of this one. And passing this one up to Tegan Nielsen. Nielsen not quite catching all of that pass. Maybe some slight miscommunication as well, as the Wildcats are back in control of this one. And another goal kick here coming from Sammy Brooks. And looks like they're going to call a high kick on that one on Tanksley, as there were nearly boots to faces on that one. As we are now down under 10 minutes left here in this second half of action. Score still tied at 1-1. And another save by Brooks. And Nielsen, all alone with a couple of Wildcat defenders on her, will pass this one over to Tanksley. Tanksley unable to get the jump. And that one's going to go wide right.
Mulvane corner kick.
And we apologize as we're beginning to have audio and video issues again here late in the second half. Hopefully by the time overtime rolls around, if it does roll around, that these issues will have subsided, or if the game happens. As we are now down under 5 minutes left here. With Brooks and another big kick there, and Tanksley fighting for that one. Unable to make that one work. And some slight frustration beginning to show. And I believe they are calling offsides now on Mulvane. And this ball is back in motion here, and putting her foot on the ball right as it would go out of the length side of the field, using my best math terms to describe that. Resulting now in a goal kick from Schiffelbein. And Paulino, big overhead kick there, and Tanksley. And another goal by Aubrey Tanksley. 2-1 is the score. Correct about my overtime prediction. And play has resumed here. And tensions could be cut with a knife. This game is so intense. now awaiting the goal kick from Sammy Brooks. With just above 2 minutes to go here. We'll let the game clock catch up to ours here. And another save by Brooks. A terrific game she's having tonight as we are now down to 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Going out of bounds here, and looks like Stock will again take the throw in here for the Lady Crusaders, as we are now down to nearly just a minute of play here. And now down under 1 minute here as to who would take that throw in. And Mulvane is moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour to put this one in. Wildcats, as Paulino and Coker alike were racing to prevent that one from making its way down the field with 30 seconds left here tonight. The Lady Crusaders. And now again, moving it down the field with under 20 seconds left here. Tanksley with just 5 seconds left in 3, 2, 1. That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Rights have been wronged, and Buhler will come back to win this one. They are your quarterfinal champions, ladies and gentlemen. Collapsing in tears of joy on this one. And Rank said in that brief interaction that he and I were able to have that would it be nice to get a little tables have turned this year. Last year, Buhler going down 2-1 against the Mulvane Wildcats here in Mulvane. And 2-1. What a fitting end to this game, ladies and gentlemen, as they remain victorious here. We thank you all for joining us so much and for the enjoyment of your viewing experience on this wonderful Lady Crusaders victory as they are moving on to the state semifinals tournament. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. What a wonderful thing to be watching here, and look at the celebrations on that field. It's Crusader Sports Network. Again, we thank you for joining us as they go to Wave Tuesday, May 24th. Your quarterfinal champions, your Buhler Lady Crusader soccer team for Crusader Sports Network in Mulvane. Oh my gosh.